The 2026 Summer Field Program is underway at KLDC.
Today is our first day with our geological mapping and prospecting team, Dynamite Geological Services.
Before the team ships out to the wilderness, Mike runs the recruits through some operational and geological training.
Take a look at these. These are the rocks you're going to encounter in the field, and we tie them to the Moab deposit. And it's going to help us out targeting and for our future drill programs.
Alberta Hammond here, she's leading the crew.
Hi, I'm Alberta. I'm super excited to be here, excited to do some field mapping and get out and explore the new unexplored areas. It's going to be a great time, and I'm super excited to do some good work for KLDC.
We're looking forward to getting them out there with the bugs in the swamp. those the other things that are out there, yeah.
Welcome back to KLDC Treasure Hunters. It has been an incredibly busy month. We have lots of drill holes coming out today in our press release, but on top of that, there's been regional geophysics that have been fully completed. We have our summer prospecting program, which is underway. Busy season so far. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of the geophysics of the drilling and all the exciting things that ended up coming from what we've seen here. Biggest things, there's three key takeaways from today's press release. One is we've extended high-grade mineralization. We have high grade below 500 meters, so we found those deep tapping structures, which is what we were setting out to do with drill hole 10. On drill hole 8, we've extended our stacked zones in the north. So those books that we see in mineralization of the north zone, that has extended an additional, what has it been, 50 meters?
Oh, at least, yeah. Up to almost close to 100 meters in places.
Nice. And then on top of that, we've extended our broad mineralization that's to the west, and so that's also extending. So we have three really big takeaways that are exciting. So I'll let Ben get into the details here, but we're absolutely thrilled with what we're seeing and continue to see. And on top of that, there's 11 drill holes pending. So we've been very busy drilling. I know you're not getting as many updates. Paragon's been a little bit slower, but still lots of positive things going on. So Ben, let's jump into the geophysics and show what we're seeing.
Yeah. So honestly, once the snow melted, the water starts to recede. We hit the ground running pretty quick. So we've integrated the new geophysical survey. This is a mobile MT survey. It's flown by expert geophysics. We get a couple different layers of data that come from this. One of them being electromagnetic, and we get the VLF signal that comes from that as well. And that's one of the nicest ones that we're looking at right off the bat. We're still just on the preliminary part, but we finished that survey back in mid-May, and now we're being able to get that first round of data. And we're already prospecting with those targets with our two teams from Dynamite Geological Services. They've got two teams out there looking at some of the prospects up into the north. And then we're also using that now to define a little bit more of the structures that we're seeing and that we've been interpreting in and around the Murado mine site. This is giving us more accuracy and detail on that. So really exciting to be able to bring that in. Not only do we have 11 drill holes still pending, we've got a second drill that's just started turning yesterday, so we'll be pumping out even more core at this point. What I want to do with that geophysics, this is where we get really excited about that. We can see from this image we've got a lot of these high signals and low signals, but what we do see is a lot of these breaks. And one thing that we can pull from the VLF signal is lithological contacts and those large structures. So without getting into too much of the detail, as we're still in that interpretation phase, we're waiting for the final product to come from our geophysicist experts, and that will really start allowing us to hone in on the true location of these structures. But it's giving us the geometry of the system which we were seeing in the drill core. Now we get to see it on the macro scale, and it's going to give us a lot more ability to target. So I'm going to zoom in onto our leapfrog model here into the mine site and actually look at this in correlation with our drill holes. So what we're seeing here now is, again, we've just zoomed into that body right through here, and if I just filter through, you can kind of start seeing where that mineralization is. So we've got the old mine workings, we've got surface targets from old prospecting, which we'll be following up in the near future. But when we look in and we zoom into here, this is where we can start seeing some of those breaks between. So we see the breaks between these signal highs, the purples. You get a little line here, a little line here. This is helping us kind of define some of those structures within there. But interestingly, now even with this geophysics, that's giving us the broad scale. What we're defining from within the drill core itself, again, it's a much smaller scale than this geophysical survey. So what that's going to allow us to look at those deep tapping structures and where the mineralization is coming from. So I'll turn us to the side here. And this is looking to the northwest. And these, what we see in the drill holes that are green, the previous release drill holes. What we see in the red are the current released on this press release. And in gray are the pending, those 11 holes that we have that are still pending. And what we've done in these past 5 holes, which is giving us a lot more information on, is we've extended mineralization at depth. So this is drill hole number, I'm going to turn this 10 here. We've started to, we've identified mineralization at a significant depth down. So this is down to about 475 meters. We've got mineralization in these structures. We've got a continuation with drill hole number 9 just above it. So we're seeing that these are mineralized structures, and these are very much in line with those blowouts that we see up at surface, or closer to surface, I should say. So what that tells us is we've got a system that's pumping up this hydrothermal fluid enriched with gold, remobilizing that mineralization, which is already there, coming from a deep location up into this area where it's now being trapped within these broader scale mineralizations that we saw in our first 5 holes. Which is great. You need to have a plumbing system that's going to move these things through, and the deeper tapping means that you have the potential for significant expansion. We also incorporated or intersected on the south zone in drill hole number 11 an extension at depth of that blowout mineralization that we see in the first 6 drill holes that we had on the south zone. So this is a step down below, as we can see from right here, of about 100 meters, which is a big step out. Now, again, we can see the mine workings. We know the mineralization is there. It's always great to start with a past producing mine that you can sort of see the geometry that existed in there. We're now stepping out of that envelope significantly. This is where the expansion comes. This is where this deposit grows with the definition drilling that we're currently underway. So staying just on the south side before I jump over to the north, we can see that our pending drill holes are taking yet another step down below that, looking for that further extension. And so once again, we've been able to confirm that deep tapping system, those structures that are pumping the hydrothermal fluids up, and those trapping blowout locations where you see that large scale mineralization. Really exciting drilling coming from those drill holes. And then stepping over onto the north side, if I'll just turn just slightly, in green we have here drill hole number 6, which we were able to demonstrate what we knew from the north historic mining at the north zone, which these stacked lenses that we see. The mining workings themselves are actually configured in following these. We're stepping those out to the south in this location. And so drill hole number 6 drilled here, and we had many intersections, and we've actually extended several of those lenses out further to the south and east in this location. So we can see, if I turn down this way, how broad that step out is with that mineralization still continuing out. Now these are vertical systems, not the same as what we see on the north side. So if I just draw a line to kind of indicate those, you can see that these lines kind of look like they're in sort of an orientation like this, and we're seeing multiples of those coming down as a stacked bookcase. through there. And now, as we move further and further to the east and to the west, if I turn looking down again, we're going to be following up to the west along these trends here. Let's turn the map. So it's going to be coming to the northwest. We've got drill holes planned out in this area over here, where we'll be extending that mineralization, looking for the extension of those systems as they trend off to the northwest. Honestly, at this point, it's been fantastic drilling. Every drill hole is giving us either wonderful results or results we weren't even expecting to see. So those deep extensions, we're really happy to be seeing those things coming in on this drilling. And now with the second drill, we're going to be pushing it even further along.
It's interesting, Ben, because it looks like the VLF is aligning nicely with the mineralization. We're seeing that it's kind of that contact between the high and the low, so in that green area that the mineralization seems to be continuing with. So that also extends to the west when you get into the MZ zone, where you have that contact again. Yeah. And the known mineralization at surface. And I know we have some holes planned out there. We're still waiting on the permit to get outside of the patents, but we should have that in the next few weeks to be able to move into that zone, which is very, very compelling over there as well.
Very much so. And even so, with this geophysics that we have, we've got multiple layers. So with this also comes a magnetic survey. And that's another location where we see it's almost the inverse of the VLF, where we have the magnetic low at the margin of the magnetic low to the magnetic sort of intermediate is where we're seeing a lot of mineralization as well. And that, once again, is where the MZ zone kind of continues on. So you see this large body kind of coming out in this direction. And along here, mineralization along that contact region between the magnetic and non-magnetic and moderately magnetic. And this may be something that's not necessarily associated with a specific lithology. This might be more of an alteration signal where sulfides are coming in, or you're changing an iron content into a pyrite, which would take the magnetism out of it. So all of these tools are just another level for us to really dive into what's driving the mineralization here, and then take that, and as we jump back to the previous slide, take that out to the regional scale. So looking at those connective systems, again, we're just looking in here, just this little corner of the property right now at this point, and that is going to, those systems are extending across. So with our prospectors out on the field right now, it's going to be a fantastic summer for discovery.